Welcome back to the channel, everyone, in a very special episode 51. Why is this special? Because we usually don't stream on Wednesdays, but we felt like streaming, and it's really late. I think on the East Coast, it's like 1:30 almost in the morning. Here it's around 11:30 where we are. But we figured, hey, let's have some fun. Let's do some streaming. We got finished up with some of our work earlier today, so we figured, yeah, let's get on some stream. How you doing? Did I drag you onto this? Do you want to be in bed? Do you want to be sleeping right now? Is that it?
No, I do need to vacuum my room, unfortunately, so I'm going to do some, after late night with the Gringo, some late night cleaning with, well, the Gringo's son. That will not be a live stream.
That will not be live stream. I don't think anybody wants to watch you vacuum your room. But anyways, I appreciate it. But hey, we got lots of pop culture news today to talk about. And really, usually we talk a lot about politics, but today I want to take a break. And I love talking pop culture, so let's talk some pop culture. Because there's a lot going on in pop culture today. First and foremost, let's talk about Snow White, everyone's favorite upcoming film. So apparently, I don't know if anybody knew this, or it came out today. So most people probably saw it on Fox News, something like that. But Disney has sort of scaled back the premiere. The one in the UK has been almost totally just taken away. The one in the United States here for the premiere that's going to happen in a day or two. They're not even going to let regular press in. They're going to walk the red carpet. There's going to be any real press. It'll be Disney people, so they don't have to answer questions. Why? Because Rachel Zegler has some sort of weird disorder where she can't help but say things that are stupid. And she's basically tanked the film. She's been tanking it for 2 years. And this film's going to be an impending disaster. I just don't see it happening. I don't see it making the money it needs to make back. But let's get to the article. So hold on one second here.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think she just tanked the film. Did we see the dwarves? Did you see those 7 dwarfs?
The Nightmare Fuel? Well, I've seen also. We could talk about the dwarfs.
The series of dwarves.
Listen, this movie has everything going wrong for it, and you're right. The dwarfs are one of the things. So let's actually, since you brought up the dwarfs, let's talk about the dwarfs. All right, Snow White and the 7 dwarfs. I think, me personally, there are 7 people who are. I don't know if the politically correct word is dwarf. I don't really care. There's probably 7 dwarfs out there that really want to be in a Disney movie and make that Disney money and get that Disney check that don't care about whatever stereotypes or whatever political correctness that people are worried about, including Peter Dinklage. And this all stems from Peter Dinklage, the most famous short actor in the world, right? Game of Thrones. He's I first saw him in Elf. But apparently he came out and said, "I can't believe Disney's going to remake this. Hopefully they don't put stereotypes of dwarfs in there." I'm like, dude, you've been making a living off of being a short-statured actor, and now you're telling Disney not to let 7 other short-statured actors maybe get a break, maybe get, like I said, a paycheck. But hey, you know what? He said it. That gave Disney the heebie-jeebies, and they decided to put in these 7 magical DEI people. It was ridiculous when that photo came out. So that got a lot of backlash. And then now they got rid of all that for live action. And now they're CGI dwarves. And they're absolutely they're the worst thing I've seen since Polar Express. I mean, talk about that.
Hey. They don't shit talk the magical Christmas train movie that is my childhood, all right?
All I'm saying.
All aboard. You don't want some hot chocolate?
I don't want any hot chocolate.
All right.
Oh my God, that movie.
Can I just say that those 7 actors that were casted to play the DEI dwarves, which they weren't even dwarves, those they must have been at least. I kind of feel bad for them because they must have been excited to be in a Disney movie and to play, in Snow White. Granted, they didn't fit Snow White at all, but they must have been excited. That must have killed them to look online and be like, "Wow, we're getting killed." Yeah,
they weren't even calling them. They're calling them the Bandits or something like that. The 7 magical mystical bandits or something like that.
What were they called?
The 7 magic. Yeah, they're right there. 7 magical mystical bandits. They're just. I don't know what to call them. And they ended up going with these CGI dwarfs that up close, man, they are just. Oh boy. Oh, they're just nightmare fuel. The thing is, I'm going to go watch this movie so I can review it. I want to give it an honest review. I know I'm going in there biased. Review? I'm going to give it, look,
honest
if
review.
I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I start singing hi ho because I'm singing along with the dwarfs, I'm going to let you know I was singing along with the dwarfs, but I don't think so. But so this is problem number 1 that came up. It wasn't even the biggest problem that this movie had. right? The biggest problem is who's sitting there with the dwarfs. It's Rachel Zegler. Now, listen, she got a lot of crap when she was casted, okay, because Snow White isn't Latino. Okay, cool. Some people have a problem with that. Some people don't. It was just another example of Disney sort of not respecting the source material and doing some sort of race swap. But really, honestly, that is nothing. That little, if that was the only issue that this film had, well, they had Rachel Zegler talk, and she gave interviews, and she called the prince a stalker from the original film. The 1937 film is dated. She's not looking for true love. The prince might even be cut out of the film because it's Hollywood, baby, she says. And she said it's weird, and that's gone viral for years now. And she just came across as just unlikable and someone that we just don't want to support. And someone who looks like they didn't respect the original source material, so why would we respect her version of this film? And she made Brie Larson look likable, which is a difficult thing to do, but that's what she did. So, and then she decided to keep opening her mouth. No, well, first off, then they shelved the film for a year because they wanted to reshoot, do all this stuff, get the dwarves right, which they still haven't, if that's what the dwarves are going to be in the final product. And then they brought her out on the apology tour, and she had to do these interviews, and they told her what to say to sound somewhat likable, somewhat relatable, but she didn't even come across as that. And then they started giving her, then they had the strikes, and she came out and said stupid things like, if she's going to get paid, and she's probably being paid a lot of money, if she's going to get paid to be on set and wear that costume, then for every minute of streaming, she should get paid after the movie's been released, which seemed ridiculous and just seemed so out of touch. You know, you have just in the middle of high inflation, what was going on politically at the time, she just seemed so out of touch. And then the election came. And boy, well, actually, let's back that up. Then October 7th came. And Gal Gadot, however you want to pronounce her name, seems like a fine person. She's Israeli. Well, she's her co-star. And of course, she's going to support her home nation after that attack. But do you think her co-star would? Nope.
Because that's what this movie needed. Political drama.
Yep. Her co-star would end her tweets or her Instagram posts with, "Free Palestine." And it just ruined any type of relationship the two stars had with each other, and it ruined anything with it. I think Gal Gadot's handled herself very well. She hasn't said anything, but you could tell there's tension when you see the two of them together. They really just don't like each other. Now, after that, here comes Kamala Harris, and here comes Miss Rachel Zegler with her Instagram post or TikTok or whatever it was, where she gets on and says, if you don't vote Democrat, then she doesn't need your business. Go ahead and unsubscribe. Don't watch. It's like, okay, you just told 65 to 70% of the country to not watch your movie. Brilliant marketing and business decision. Okay, so we got that. But that wasn't it. The post continued, and she said, may Trump and his supporters, may they never know peace. Really? What the frig is that? Never know peace? And I remember when this first happened, listen, I'll tell you right now, I wasn't the biggest Obama supporter. I would never wish the man ill or anybody who supported him. I never thought, man, I wish he never knows peace. You're wishing the president of the United States to never know peace. Let's really dissect that whole statement. If the president of the United States never knows peace, that means the whole world's on fucking fire. People are dying and people are suffering. But that's okay because for you, your side didn't win. I mean, really think of the stupidity of that statement. Think of the callousness of that statement. Think of the hatred embedded in that statement. May you never know peace. I mean, it's the exact opposite of kindness, niceness, of reciprocity, of just being a normal, everyday, average person who just wants everybody to be happy. Well, this person doesn't. This person, because the wrong person is in the Oval Office, this person wants the world to be lit on fire. So take it from there. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that statement other than that.
So, a lot of controversy, a lot to unpack. I just don't get how we went from the 7 non-dwarfs, actually, sorry, 6 non-dwarfs, because there's one.
There's one there, yeah.
One dwarf, there's one.
Dwarf.
Actually, do you know who that is?
No.
That apparently, I don't know if they reshot this, but I'm looking at some of these images that came out originally with the pre-CGI dwarfs. It's not cut up there. I think if you click the link.
This one right here.
No, the blue guy.
Oh, the blue guy.
He's supposed to be the replacement for the prince because apparently they did away with him.
Oh, they cut that off. They did cut that off.
Walk behind the character known as Jonathan as the movie ditches the character of the prince. So it did ditch the prince. I don't know if they wrote back in the prince at this point.
Oh, okay. That's weird too.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. More you know, right?
Yeah. So we went from dwarves to
no prince, just a guy named Jonathan. How you doing, John?
Hi, John. It's Hollywood, baby.
It's Hollywood, baby. To CGI dwarfs, Palestine, no peace. If you don't vote my way or think the way I do, and a complete reshoot of a film that should, all accounts, if you just heard Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, you would imagine that should be winning an Academy Award. But they've completely derailed this.
Yep.
I'm shocked Disney hasn't just decided to just shelve this completely and try to redo it again like in a few years. Because that's what I would do. If I'm Disney, if I'm Bob Iger, and I'm sitting at my desk and I'm looking at this film and the reactions to it, which is not positive, I would say we're canceling the film. We're going to write it off as a tax loss. We'll try this again in a year or two. We're going to redo it. Because this is a property that you cannot really mess up. I mean, this is the property that allowed Disney to become the powerhouse it is. I mean, it won all those Oscars. I mean, it's what inspired, if you don't know this, Walt Disney was given a special Oscar because he had won the most Oscars ever because of his studio. They gave him an Oscar with 7 little Oscars following behind a giant one in reference to this to his biggest success of a film, Snow White. You are killing his dream, his creation.
Yeah. Yep. This is the genesis of what Disney was and what it was loved for, and you're going to crap all over it. So the news broke earlier this week. Disney is taking next level measures to stage manage the film's world premiere in Los Angeles on March 15th. The Ides of March, the day they killed Caesar. That's a good lucky day.
Oh, the day Disney died. The Ides of March. The day empires are born and killed.
Yep. So they opted for a more celebratory, family-friendly afternoon event to match the tone and target audience for the film, which is, no, they just don't want hot mics in front of Rachel Zegler. All right? Snow White isn't the first major film to manage a red carpet in such a restricted way. Warner Brothers did much the same for the world premiere of The Flash, starring the embattled Ezra Miller. Well, there's a great piece of company to be in. It's sort of like,
that's not great.
That's not good.
Because you didn't commit exactly any crime. And you got into bed with the guy who committed a crime.
Is accused of several criminal acts, whereas Zegler has simply generated. He wasn't convicted yet. I think he got away with not really going to court too often because he went into rehab and all that stuff. Criticizing the original, she criticized the original film. She slammed Donald Trump. Godot, meanwhile, is a divisive figure on social media due to the Israeli actor speaking out in support of her native country, which. That's not divisive. That if someone's speaking out because they just watched, hundreds of her fellow citizens murdered and say that's not a good thing. That's not divisive. That's normal. No one should be shamed for that. So after her appearance at the Oscars, a baseless rumor circled that Wonder Woman star refuses to present Best Palestinian film. No, that was never a thing. So she's getting all sorts of crap just because she's Israeli. So again, this film is D.O.A. Now, I say that because this film has probably got a budget around $400 to $500 million because it's been reshot at least twice.
No.
CGI is not cheap, even though the one we're looking at looks really cheap with the way these doors are. So again, all the bad press. This thing is tracking only to open at around $53 to $58 million in its first weekend, which is horrendous. This thing needed to open up to at least 100 mil to even have a chance to be profitable. So after Captain...
Never mind break even.
Never mind break even. Oh, this film's not breaking even.
First of all, I was going to say, they did not spend $500 million in this film. They spent 6 to 7.
It's possible because you think of marketing and everything.
Think of the marketing. Think about the CGI, the actors involved. You still have to pay the actors that you hired and then recasted. If I'm not mistaken, there are certain rights for them in place. So imagine the budget on the cast, the script writers, because they probably had to work overtime to rewrite this thing. Which honestly, you shouldn't have to even rewrite this thing. You should just redo the live action. And not to redo the animated just as live action.
Yeah.
You did this. How did you mess this up so badly? You could have done what you did with Cinderella. Do you remember live action Cinderella like a decade or so back? That was, I think I remember seeing not the premiere of it, but I was within like the first weeks because, you know, your lovely wife, my mother, love seeing the movies. That did a good job. That did a good job.
Yeah, it did. I think it was like number 8 or 9. You know, there's got to be The Lion King. Here we go. The Lion King is the highest grossing live action adaptation film that they've ever done, followed by Beauty and the Beast, which grossed $1.3 billion. Aladdin next, Alice in Wonderland, The Jungle Book. Maleficent is like at the bottom. Maleficent issues is like Dumbo's at the bottom. Pinocchio never even made the top 10. Little Mermaid never made the top 10. But Cinderella's like number 8 or number 9 on that list. So, I mean, it's not. This film's not even going to crack top 10. It's just not. It really isn't.
Cinderella. To give you an understanding, this is according to Wikipedia. A budget of $95 million, made $202 million in the U.S.
Got it up here right there.
$350 million in other territories. Actually, $202 million in the U.S. and Canada. Sorry, $340 or so million in other territories for a worldwide total of $542 million.
There it is.
With a budget of 95. You could have spent maybe, because I'll give or take inflation, $200 million on the budget, plus another $200 for marketing, and you could have gotten yourself an easy $600 million movie.
Yeah.
If you just kept to the original story, but instead you chose one of the most divisive actors or actresses, I should say, to play Snow White, and she did what she always does. Made problems. And then on top of that, you didn't help yourself with the dwarves and the recasting and the change of the script because you wanted to be Hollywood, baby.
Yeah, well.
This was the type of film, like you can do that with another film. This is the property you don't do that with because this is like your guaranteed win in the year. Like if you're on an investment board for Disney, you're probably looking at Iger and thinking, this should have been a guaranteed profit.
Yep.
This IP. This IP should be guaranteed profit. Every year you put it out no matter what, because you shouldn't have to change anything.
No.
But instead...
Just film it the way it was.
Just film it the way it was. Cast it the right way. Instead, you tried to be all social messaging. You're wrong. We're right.
Yeah, because apparently when Snow White is unconscious and the prince kisses her to wake her up, he did not have consent. Get over yourself, all right? It's not like he felt her up or something. It wasn't like he roofied her. It's a fairy tale.
Yeah, I
think it's a German fairy tale.
Yes, it is a German fairy tale.
And I'm sure the Germans are really happy with a Latino playing their German fairy tale. I mean,
they're honestly probably okay with it.
Wouldn't that be cultural appropriation?
It is cultural technically appropriation.
Okay, anyways. But we go back to this. Like I was looking at Alice in Wonderland. Talk about a reimagining, right? Budget of $200 million. Made over $1 billion. And that was back in 2010. So who knows what kind of money that would be today, right? So, Disney. So they've had Captain America and the Captain America 4 Brave New World, which just absolutely tanked. They've lost hundreds of millions of dollars on that. We're going to talk about Daredevil next in a second, but
this should have been a guaranteed win. I'm sorry, Gringo. I can't get past that. This is fucking Snow White.
I know. I know.
This should not be.
I know.
So we shouldn't be even. We should only be talking about how it holds respect to the original and does it right. Maybe the casting's a little off, But that's it. The only controversy should have been the CGI dwarves.
Well, what's funny is like the original movie is like the evil queen's mad because Snow White is prettier than she is, and I'm like, you cast Rachel Zegler against Gal Gadot, like as the evil queen, and I'm like, oh,
one's more, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't. It just no.
One's more beautiful than the other.
It just doesn't work that way.
I mean, one played Wonder Woman. I mean, that's how
it's Wonder Woman.
It's Wonder Woman. You're not gonna hate her. She looks good.
You're not gonna hate on Wonder Woman. It's just fine. Okay. So yeah, this is good. So you ready to go see this film?
Gringo, I really am not. I'll be honest.
You know what? I drag you to almost every film. When you're here, I drag you to every film I'm going to review. I'll give you one pass for the year, and if you want to use it on this film, you can use it on this film.
Okay. No, I will go see this film. But I better have a damn good lunch to at least make up for this.
I'll get you a Big Mac.
I don't eat Big Macs, quarter pound or something. I don't know. Maybe some chicken tenders from KFC.
Dude, I
need something that gives me joy.
Look, here's the thing. I don't drink because I can't drink. I'm not supposed to drink.
This movie would want me to drink.
I think I'm going to have a beer while sitting in the theater this time. I think I'm going to have a beer. My kidneys are just going to have to take it. Just going to have to take it. Just going to say, kidneys, just take it because I need it. So, yep, impending disaster. They're already seeing the writing on the wall in the box office. Predictions, but
oh wow, I'm shocked. They really went to a scientist to figure that one out. Huh?
Yep. So, but let's stay with Disney because they've had Captain America, they're gonna have Snow White, but in between, Marvel and Disney Plus released Daredevil: Born Again. Now, I will tell you, I watched the first 2 episodes last week, and we're gonna talk about the views and the 7 million and all that, and its premiere and why maybe why some reasons it didn't do as well as people thought it would. I liked the first 2 episodes because I thought it was. I'm gonna preface this. I liked the first 2 episodes because I thought it was setting something up. You didn't get much Daredevil. You had Daredevil for about 5 minutes in the first episode, and you had Matt Murdock out of costume fighting for about 5 minutes in the last episode. Not even 5 minutes, like 3 minutes. The rest of it was all courtroom drama. And Wilson Fisk, a.k.a. the Kingpin, trying to become mayor. So he had politics and courtroom drama. I'm like, okay, I get it. Matt Murdock's a lawyer. I get that. I'm a fan of the comics. I get all that. I understand all that. And I thought to myself, and I put on a review saying I liked the first 2 episodes because I think they're building to something. I think they're New York's a powder keg, and it's looking to do maybe enhance the story. So I was really excited this week. So last night I sat down to watch episode 3, and it was courtroom drama, wall-to-wall courtroom drama, plus Wilson Fisk in marriage couples therapy with his wife, Vanessa.
What a weird plot point to have. Can I just say that?
No Daredevil.
But marriage counseling.
But marriage counseling for Wilson Fisk. I was like, you know what? As a courtroom drama goes, it was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't Law and Order. It wasn't anything like that. It was okay. Intriguing story, kind of like you wonder where it was going to go, but then you're sitting there going, where the frig is Daredevil? Like, where is he? I get people were upset already that
he's arguing pro bono cases.
Yeah, like no shit. I get it. People are upset that Foggy and Karen from the original series, the original 3 seasons, were written off or written away. Spoiler alert, Foggy got shot and killed. That's part of the reason why Matt doesn't want to be Daredevil anymore. I get that people, but I wasn't so. I mean, I liked Foggy, I liked Karen as characters, but I wasn't so attached to them that I needed them in this next 4th season, right? I wanted Daredevil and I wanted Kingpin, or I wanted Daredevil I wanted Kingpin. I wanted the classic, the classic matchup. Maybe a little Punisher thrown in because that got teased, But I haven't gotten that. So after the 3rd episode ended, I was just like, what the frig am I watching?
They're teasing you too much.
This is not Daredevil. It's not Daredevil Born Again, because if you read the original Daredevil Born Again story arc, this isn't it, right? They're just using the name. I get that. I'm okay with that. But at least give me some action. Give me something. I get more about internet journalism than I do about Daredevil beating the crap out of criminals. I mean, just and this thing's only like 6 or 7 episodes. We're 3 episodes in, and I'm just like, okay, I might as well finish watching it because it's only 3 more episodes at least, but I don't have high hopes. I mean, even if you bring out, like, what are you going to wait till like the end of episode 5, bring them back in like the last 5 minutes, so episode 6 all about Daredevil fighting? I mean, at that point in time, I don't care. I mean, you're going to bring back Punisher. Don't screw up Punisher. I mean, if you're going to bring back Punisher in this series, now this thing's already greenlit for a 2nd season, so they think it's going to be, it's going to be popular enough to hold a 2nd season. Fine. Now it debuted with 7.5 million views on Disney Plus over its first 4 or 5 days. Not great. Agatha All Along, terrible series. You can see all my reviews of that crap fest on my channel. And I'm an Agatha fan, and from the comics, because she's a great villain. Maybe not an A-list villain, but she's a great B-list villain. And I was like, oh, cool. Around Halloween, Agatha, this might be cool. Nope, crap fest. The Acolyte premiere, they all had more views than Daredevil. Now, I will say this, and maybe this is part of it, maybe it's not because it's streaming, you can always watch it later. This did premiere the night of the most highest rated presidential speech in history. You put Daredevil, Born Again, the premiere episodes 1 and 2 up against Donald Trump. You ain't winning that fight. So, of course, Donald, they had tens of millions of people watching Donald. I forgot, it's like something like 70. Ridiculous. I have no idea what that number was, but it was ridiculous. Tens of millions. I've seen anywhere between 40 and 70, those numbers named. But then again, Daredevil, you can stream whenever you want. So it's not like you had to see it at that exact time. You and I, we streamed the speech that night. And then later on, I watched the game. Yeah, and later on, we watched this. And I was trying to be generous, and I was nice, and I thought, okay, this is going. I tried to think, oh, best intentions. It really is, after the first 2 episodes, the best Marvel series there is. You watch the first 2 episodes, you're like, this is better than anything Marvel's put out for live action series on Disney Plus. But again, that's a low bar, and I thought I even said in my review, we'll have to see where it goes. It's not going anywhere comic booky. At least not that I see it. I'm sort of just left scratching my head. What's next?
You know what Daredevil's going to do? He's going to introduce a key witness who may or may not be credible to the stand, because that's what a real Daredevil does. He
did that. He did that in episode 3.
I didn't even see episode 3. You're not shitting me.
I'm not shitting you.
Shit you not, people. I have not watched episode 3. I've seen episode 2 with you guys. It's in bits. I've been busy. But really, that's what he did in episode 3?
Yeah, there's some stupidity in episode 3. I mean, as far as courtroom dramas go. I mean, in the beginning or in episode 2 or episode 3, I can't ever remember which one.
The fact that I made that up on the spot and it ended up being right tells you all you need to know about this show. It's not in a good spot. If I can make that up, and that's a key plot.
Yeah.
You don't have Daredevil still?
No, you have the White Tiger for like a brief few seconds, who no one knows who the hell the White Tiger is. He's a Puerto Rican superhero, vigilante, street-level vigilante. He's got a little amulet that gives him power. He goes around in a white outfit and all that. Right, that's the guy that's on trial for his life because they say he murdered a cop, which he didn't. The cop's dirty. So, in one episode, Matt Murdock is arguing with the judge. You cannot allow White Tiger's past to come into the trial because it's going to taint the jury. So they're not allowed to talk anything about his vigilantism. Then Matt Murdock puts on the witness that is all bullshit and recants his story and says he wasn't really a witness and he has nothing to do with it and walks off. So then Matt Murdock decides, well, I begged and plead for the judge not to allow any White Tiger stuff into the trial. What does Matt Murdock do next? He introduces all the White Tiger stuff into the trial, and that works. So it just...
He won?
Yeah, it doesn't seem... Yeah, he won, but they ended up... He won. So here's a guy who's put on trial in New York City for murdering a cop, right? He's a known vigilante now. Everybody knows who he is. He gets acquitted. Most of the city hates him, including the kingpin, the mayor, because it makes him look bad that a cop killer got off of being sent to jail, even though he really didn't kill the cop. So what does this functioning brain of a person do? they decide, well, we're going to put on the White Tiger outfit again. That night, he gets acquitted. He goes home. He puts on his White Tiger amulet and his suit and his mask, and he's literally walking through the streets of New York like he's walking down the sidewalk to go buy a pizza. It's literally, he's not even trying to be hot. He's not trying to hide. He's not trying to be stealthy. He's just, here I am. And he walks down, he hears some sort of commotion, and he walks up, and this vigilante who's been this great, got a power amulet, right? Doesn't notice the guy coming out of the shadows with a gun, puts it to his head and blows the guy's brain out right there on the sidewalk. End of episode 3. And I'm thinking, that was fucking stupid.
So the White Tiger's dead.
White Tiger's dead. Why do we care? Why did you make episodes 1, 2, and 3 all about acquitting the White Tiger only to have him offed in the final moments? It just doesn't make any sense.
Is
it's
it confirmed he's dead? You guys see him dead?
Oh yeah, he gets his head blown. He gets his brains blown out from one side to the other. Yeah,
Maybe
you could
he's
drive.
alive?
You could drive a truck through one ear to the other. Man, he's done. He's gone. Bye bye. So I'm like, why waste all 3 episodes building up this character just to see him get his head blown off? Like, what was the point? There is no point. Now you're starting off with a whole new story. That was the plot. That was the story arc of these. Besides Matt not wanting to be Daredevil. That was the plot. Now it's going to be like, we need to find out who killed the White Tiger. Now you get 3 episodes to do that.
More courtroom drama.
More, I don't know,
My
undercover
key
detective.
witness recounted his story again. What should I do?
Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what to tell you. I was rooting for you. I really was. I was rooting for you. But it just went south real fast. So, all right. According to the House of Mouse, according to the Mouse House, whatever you want to call it, the Marvel television series drew 7.5 million views in its first 5 days of availability on Disney+. First 5 days. With a view defined as total stream time divided by runtime, that makes it the biggest streaming debut on the platform this year. That doesn't mean shit. All right? Because I can't figure out what else premiered this year on Disney+. Nothing really.
No.
Skeleton Crew? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The show officially launched on March 4th. Let's see here. Disney does not regularly release viewership information. Yeah. Agatha All Along hit 9.3 million views in its first week of availability. And like I said, I believe it's the Acolyte. Daredevil did better as well. But again, we're all just like, okay, maybe the Punisher is going to come and save this shit. I don't know. I don't know. Because I'm not getting badass Wilson Fisk, Kingpin. They're hinting at it because he keeps having bloody knuckles. You don't know where he's getting the blade. Obviously, he's beating the shit out of somebody somewhere. But all you see him doing is sitting at his desk as mayor or sitting on a couch with marriage therapy with Vanessa. Just totally just emasculated. It's just, okay. Daredevil is not really Daredevil. He's Matt Murdock, lawyer. He's going on dates. He's bringing her home. Oh, by the way, the woman Matt Murdock is dating happens to be the therapist for Wilson Fisk and his wife, Vanessa. So,
Because convenience. Deus Ex Machina.
Because
Right?
because reasons. Anyways, of all the therapists in all of New York City, that coincidence happened. I mean, you have better luck hitting the
We got
Powerball.
Punisher teased at the end of episode 3.
It was not. That's not the Punisher.
Well, then why would we get the Punisher?
Because there's going to be some sort of group that's using his logo or something like that. I forget the comic book story about it, but some sort of group using his logo, and that's what's going to bring the Punisher out to sort of get rid of these guys because he doesn't want his name being used in that way or his symbol being used in that way. I can just already read it. I can read into it. All right. Now, this show's already been reshot once, so I mean, I can imagine what the first season was supposed to be before it got rewritten. And, I go back, and I don't blame a lot of Daredevil fans for not wanting to watch it right now because the last time they saw Daredevil, he was sleeping with She-Hulk and then doing the walk of shame in the morning.
Sounds about right.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
I could have done without that information.
Yeah, he shows up in She-Hulk, and he hits it off with She-Hulk, and he goes and has a good old couple of nights with She-Hulk, and they show him literally walking in his Daredevil costume, carrying his boots, his mask, and everything. It's like the morning. It's like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Just walking home, doing the walk of shame. And I'm just like, okay, I get it. I get it why some Daredevil fans are like, they didn't want to go watch the show in the first place. They're done with it. So, but I'll keep watching because I'm already 50% in.
Yeah,
I like to finish what I start.
Wait, it's 6 episodes only?
I believe it's only 6 episodes. You can look it up for me if you want to go to IMDb. Tell me.
Also, I thought maybe there's a chance he could be like brought back.
Oh no!
Oh no!
No!
That's pretty.
Oh no! Yeah, he dead. White Tiger gone.
Dude, that would have been cool to have White Tiger.
I mean, they shoot him. They leave him there. He's got this magical amulet. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Maybe
why not take the amulet? Oh no, he's dead. He's got no brains. Bring him back as a zombie. Zombie White Tiger.
Would the amulet keep him alive? Kind of.
I don't honestly. I'm very well versed with comic books. I put out comic book videos every week. I don't know anything about White Tiger. I don't know much. I don't know jack shit about White Tiger. All right. So, and I really at this point don't care to know anything about the dead White Tiger. But yeah, I think it's 6 episodes.
Why does it say 2 here?
Because
only 2 are. Well, no, 3 are out.
3 are out. First 2 last week.
Okay, according to Reddit, 9 episodes long. 9.
9? They're gonna have 9? Okay.
According to Reddit, I could be wrong.
I saw 6, but I could be wrong too. At this point.
Hold on, here. According to Wikipedia, the planned 18-episode season was also split into 2 seasons.
Oh dear God.
So it looked like it was originally supposed to be one big story, 18 episodes. Instead, they're like 9 episodes one season, 9 episodes another season.
Okay, so I'm 30% through. I'm still going to finish what I started. I'm just not going to do it with any sense of urgency. I was ready to go and watch the episode right when it premiered.
Yeah, they really just did White Tiger dirty. Dude, they kind of be the main kind of show for 3 episodes.
Yeah, he was like,
they just have him get shot.
He's the person, he's the only person you really cared about throughout the whole show. You were emotionally invested in it, White Tiger, and they're like, yeah, we're going to kill him now. Okay. So, I don't think Daredevil Born Again episode 3 numbers are going to be very good.
No,
period. So,
this is
So Disney, a swing and a miss with Captain America, a swing and a miss with Daredevil Born Again. I guarantee you, a swing and a miss with Snow White.
I'm sorry, you don't have to guarantee that. That's obvious.
I mean, they ended last year so strong. Mufasa did well.
You know why?
They had Daredevil inside. They had Deadpool and Wolverine. They had Inside Out 2. They had basically billions and billions of dollars. I mean, let's go back and see how they ended. I mean, they
killed it at the box office.
Yeah, I mean, they after a rough start.
What was the first movie they had?
They had Moana 2.
Yeah,
the three movies that made over $1 billion last year. At the end of it, were Disney, right? Then they had Mufasa at 712, so that's respectable, right? But they had a lot of misses in early on in the year. Early on in the year they had a lot of misses. They had to take a little bit. I think they no, they didn't have anything to do with Madam Web. Oh, it's the Marvels from the year before that I'm thinking of. So they did well to end the year, and I'm like, oh, maybe they're turning it around. No, they're not. They're not turning it around. They're not turning it around. So, okay. Now, I want to talk to you about something that I know is near and dear to your heart because of your generation.
What are you talking about?
Harry Potter.
That's not really that near and dear to my heart.
Well, it's near and dear to your brother's heart, so let's break his.
Kind of.
Yeah, dude, he bought a wand and everything.
Yeah, but more because not really that dear, I think.
You don't buy a Harry Potter wand unless you really love Harry Potter.
No, he doesn't really love it. I think he thinks it's cool.
You just wanted the wand?
I think so.
What's wrong with you people?
Ask him.
What do you mean, you people?
Yeah, what do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people?
All right. Well, let's talk about something near and dear to your generation's heart.
Sure.
Harry Potter.
Okay.
So,
I think the universe is cool.
Okay.
I don't get the whole craze always over it.
Well,
I like it. Sure.
Here's what I know.
I can enjoy it.
Here's what I know. HBO Max has the chance to make the most profitable, most popular television series to come along in probably a couple of decades, if not more popular. No, I mean, I'm talking more popular.
Theory.
I'm talking more popular than Big Bang Theory. I'm talking more popular than Breaking Bad. I'm talking more popular than The Walking Dead. I'm talking more popular than The West Wing.
Okay.
I'm talking Lost season 1 numbers.
Okay.
right? To take all the original Harry Potter books and flesh them out and so book 1, which is the Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone, whichever country you live in, stretch that out as a whole season 1, and be like, hey, here we go. And really dig in and really be great about it. So they made some good moves. Cillian Murphy is going to be Voldemort, apparently.
That's a really good move.
That's a great move.
I can see that.
John Lithgow is going to play Dumbledore. I can get behind that.
Who's Lithgow again?
John Lithgow, great actor.
I don't remember.
You don't know.
I don't remember face.
This dude.
Oh, yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah. I've been a fan of John Lithgow for a long time.
Yeah,
there's a movie he did back in the 80s called The Manhattan Project, where he basically, a little teenage boy builds a nuclear weapon.
That sounds fun.
It is
Can I do that?
It's a fun movie.
Will I get arrested?
It's 80s cheese, but it's yeah, of course you will. You're not allowed in a nuclear club. Okay, so they haven't cast the 3 kids yet.
The way you said that. Apparently, found 3 kids.
Apparently, Janet McTeer is going to be Minerva McGonagall.
That's a tough role to follow up, but decent cast, right?
Decent casting, I guess. She's got a good resume. I mean, if you want to,
it's hard to replace her. She's one of those like roles that.
Yeah, I mean, she's beloved.
She's beloved, but she was the role.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't think of another.
You know who else was the role? Severus Snape.
Oh yeah, sorry, you can't replace him. Oh wait, that's right. They
Yes, we can. There he is, baby. Papa Ezado. Your new Severus Snape.
I think. Okay, listen. I'm all for actors having their opportunity in the spotlight, regardless of the color of your skin. The problem you run into is when the source material is very specific about how some of these characters look, and also if they've been played previously live on the screen, and not only just played but like embodied. I mean, to a legendary extent. I mean, he is forever Snape. Sorry, right?
Sure. Yeah,
I'm not wrong.
Yeah, no, he owned the role.
He owned the role. I mean, he became a meme almost to the extent. Actually, I think there's several memes of him as the role. I guess they want to go a different direction and try to break off from it because they don't know if they can really live up to it. But still, I don't know. I'm sure he's a good actor, right?
I just want to talk to you about, how do you think Harry Potter fans
they're not going to love this at all.
Are going to take this.
Oh, they're going to take this really bad. Listen, Harry Potter fans, some of those crazy fans I've ever met, they will light they will light crosses. I promise you that. They will have some hoods. To them, Snape is white, and he's kind of described as a snaky fella. No, am I wrong?
He's pallid. He's got like almost just the sickly white skin.
You can't be sickly white and then have him.
That's how he's described: greasy black hair, long greasy black hair,
and then you have this guy. Not very sickly white, if you ask me, Gringo. I don't think they're gonna take this well. I feel bad for what is his name? Papa.
I think it's pronounced Payapa. And I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I have nothing against this dude.
I think the guy's probably.
I just think he doesn't know what he's getting himself into.
I don't think he fits.
And I think HBO Max just tanked their series. I think this is going to have such backlash because people are tired of the race swapping.
Yeah.
They're tired of gender swapping. They're tired of
here's what it is. People don't mind when it happens to other, how do I say, fan bases, properties that they aren't fans of, right? Or that they don't care as much for.
Yeah.
But when it happens to their property, then they start to have a problem because it's their childhood. It's their fan base.
When I was growing up, there was always this thing, and I haven't heard it in a long while. And I think this is really how to explain it. You read I was a huge Stephen King fan. Huge. Still am. Guy's a lunatic, but I still am a fan of his writing. And you would read one of his books, and you'd hear like a year later that it's being made into a movie. And you go see the movie, and you'd walk out, and you'd hear the same thing. It was an okay movie. Book was way better. Right? It's because no movie could ever have fidelity to the source material unless it ran 6-7 hours, right? But it's the same thing. It's not that anybody's got anything against this actor.
No.
It's just they want fidelity to the source material. And when you show infidelity to the source material, then what's there to get excited about?
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this is going to be cool. They're going to do this. Now I'm like, oh, they don't care about the source material. So
yeah, it concerns you because like maybe they really do care about the source material, and they thought casting him was great because he got great skills. He probably is a great actor. He probably is.
That's not state though. I've read the books.
Well, let me say this. He could probably play the role in the sense of like he can play the role in terms of what it needs to be as an actor.
Yeah.
He doesn't pass the look test. And that's just as important as being able to play the role. If you can't, imagine someone else being the Terminator other than Schwarzenegger. He's got the look for it. You get what I mean? He doesn't need to be the greatest actor to play the Terminator.
Do you know who was?
But he's got the look.
Do you know who was originally slated to play the Terminator in the first Terminator film?
Who?
O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, he doesn't fit to me.
That doesn't. I mean, it fits now. Anyway,
another one. Hugh Jackman was supposed to be Jack Sparrow. That's why he's called Captain Jack.
Oh dear God.
Hugh Jackman, Wolverine. He didn't play Jack Sparrow, even though the director or the creator was his friend, because he was too busy with the Wolverine project.
Yeah.
In came Johnny Depp. Now you can't imagine Captain Jack as anybody else.
Yeah.
Imagine he was supposed to be Hugh Jackman. That's why he was called Jack.
Yeah.
That's my point. My point is this. You've got to pass the look test. And especially if you're doing something where it's like a property that's already been established and been done, and the characters are described in a very specific manner, and the fans have come to expect that, you got to be faithful. If you want to have a different kind of actor, make a different role for him.
Same thing. We talked about a couple other things.
Sorry, did you have anything else to add?
I do. It's just, I was going to say it's the same thing. Like we watch Captain America: Brave New World. I love Anthony Mackie. I think he's a great actor. But whenever they say Captain America, I look to see Chris Evans.
Yeah.
I was conditioned to see Chris Evans. It doesn't work, right? Same thing.
Nothing against him.
Like we talk about Amazon Prime. They're going to do the Masters of the Universe movie. Who'd they cast as Skeletor? Jared Leto.
Yeah, I forgot.
No, Skeletor is this buff freaking dude.
Scary.
Intimidating. I ain't scared of Jared Leto.
Jared Leto looks like that guy I want to just kick on the side of the street. Yeah. You know, when I lived in Rome, there's this bridge called Ponte Sisto. And it's a touristy kind of bridge because it's one of the walking bridges where no cars can go on.
Yeah.
Right? It's all footpath. And people would like to sit on the edge, right? And they take some of these cringy photos, right? You know, I come to kind of dislike tourists when I was there because I lived there. And you just want to push them off into the river. That's when I see Jared Leto and you tell me he's going to play Skeletor, I just want to push him into the river. I don't want to see him as Skeletor.
He already fucked up the Joker. And he looked like he had the build to be the Joker. He had the build.
Yeah, he could have been a good Joker, I think. At least
he fucked that up.
Yep, with the tattoos. I can't believe they gave
silver teeth.
No, the tattoo on his forehead. Damaged. He's emo now.
Oh my God.
Morbius.
Screwed that up.
Yeah, exactly. Can we stop giving him these roles?
But now apparently he's going to be Skeletor, and I've already lost. I mean,
at this point, I don't even watch it.
I mean, Man at Arms is going to be played by Idris Elba. Love Idris Elba.
Yeah, I like him. I think
Man at Arms is a white guy with a mustache.
Yeah, but I think Idris Elba.
Tila is going to be played by a Latina, even though Tila's a white woman with red hair. So I see a pattern. So I'm like, okay. That's what we're doing.
I mean, but Idris Elba on as what's his name? Sorry, I just blanked.
Man at Arms. Duncan. Man at Arms. Duncan.
That doesn't bother me as much because
I love Idris Elba. I'll give him. I absolutely give him the benefit. I think he's awesome.
I think he can pull that. As much as I will always see Man at Arms as the animated white guy. I think Idris Elba can do a great job.
But I'm afraid. But what I'm afraid of is that this is all being focused on like. DEI.
Yeah, exactly.
And all this crap. It's just like, okay.
And you watch this stuff to get away from the politics of life. And now you're...
And the social media.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone left a negative comment on my Mickey 17 review. They're like, they said, this is a loser take. You're obviously biased. Said something else. And I wrote back. I usually don't write back to the mean comments because whatever. But this one I wrote back. I said, yes, you're right. I am biased. I like to be entertained and not lectured to when I go pay for entertainment. That's how I'm biased. I don't want to hear right. I don't want to hear left. I want to have fun. I don't want to hear a message on either fucking side. I really don't. If I watch a movie and it's all like hugely conservative preaching and all that, I don't want to hear it. I don't. I'm going to hate it as much as I hate anything that's like telling me stuff, progressive, liberal stuff, all on the other side. I don't want to hear it. If I pay money, I want to be entertained. If I want to be lectured to or I want a social message, believe me, I'm a 50-year-old man. I know where to find it, right? There's plenty of it out there. So, but anyway, so yeah.
And if you really want to make something about that, don't ruin somebody else's property. Make something.
Yeah, make something yourself.
Because, I mean, I'm sure if you truly want to do that and you truly think it will succeed, it will be able to stand alone on its 2 feet. But if it can't, then it's not a good idea.
No.
And the only reason you're using these properties is because it's the only way you can get somebody into the theater to even tolerate it for a bit. So that's what I said. That's what it screams to me. Because if it was all truly so good and worthy of hearing, it could be its own story. You could make your own story using that kind of messaging
make yourself
and
something.
politics, and it would be able to succeed on its own.
Yeah.
But because
people want to hear it.
Exactly.
But guess what? People don't want to hear it.
Exactly. That's why
when
you take. Yeah, exactly.
Whenever they do something on their own, it doesn't work because people don't want to pay money to hear that shit. So they have to go and they have to tear it down or insert themselves or infect something that's popular and fuck it up.
Exactly.
So, but anyways, let's look at something positive. Let's see here. I have no idea if this is going to be positive or not. I just know that Sadie Sink from Stranger Things does a good job as Max, right? Max, right? She's been cast in the new Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland. Who's she going to play? There's a bunch of guesses out there. I think she's a fine actress. I think she's, whatever role she takes on, she could be, like some people are saying she's going to be Jean Grey. They're going to introduce her as Jean Grey from the X-Men, which I don't think so. I don't think they're going to use the Spider-Man 4 movie as a vehicle to introduce the X-Men. I just don't see that happening.
It's really risky.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to introduce the X-Men, just make an X-Men film. People are going to go see it if it's good, right? She could be playing Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat,
Yeah, I was thinking the Black Cat.
Again, you know what? For some reason, I'm okay with it because Felicia Hardy usually has that blonde wig on. I'm okay with it because redheads get erased in Hollywood for some reason nowadays. Yeah. So I'm okay with this. I'm okay with Sadie. Go, Sadie, take that blonde role.
Spider-Woman?
You know what I was
Spider-Girl?
thinking? I was thinking Firestar. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
I don't think so.
Spider-Man and his amazing... This was a cartoon when I was a kid. So Spider-Man had a cartoon where he had his amazing friends. He had an apartment where he lived with Iceman and Firestar.
Oh, you know what? That'd be kind of cool to call back to that.
Yeah.
Like that.
I thought, I was like, you know what?
I like that.
She would make a badass Firestar.
She would actually fit the role well.
Yeah. Yeah, they all lived in it. They'd hit a switch and everything would turn. Computers would come out of nowhere. It's really cool.
Explain away because he's got Tony Stark relationship in
Yeah.
the sense of like technology and all that.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore, but you know what I mean. In the sense of
know.
like he knows the technology.
But yeah, I think that would be a really cool thing, and then maybe they introduce an Iceman. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe, I don't know.
I mean, he needs friends.
Talk about making something different.
His friends are gone.
Yeah, his friends are gone. Talk about making something different. Now, here's what worries me: the director of Shang-Chi, that movie, which was iffy at best as a Marvel movie, is taking over the directing job for Spider-Man 4. The director for Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home, is giving up the director's chair.
Why?
Dude, he's done 3 in a row. I mean, he did No Way Home. Where are you going to go from there? Once you reach that top, you're going to be like, that's it. But I think, honestly, if they go this route, this actually might be kind of fun.
This, I think, would be a fun route to go.
And what a way, kind of feed that into Secret Wars, which is where everything seems to be going, is Secret Wars. You have Firestar, you got
Iceman, Spider-Man.
And Iceman, there you go. You got mutants.
Yeah, and you can do an X-Men movie. You can kind of tease it in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then you can really kind of rebuild the Marvel universe because right now it's in a really poor state.
Yeah, even and during Saturday morning cartoons, here's a pick. Like they did run into the X-Men, Colossus, and there's Professor X, Cyclops. I forgot what this dude's name. I think it's Apache or whatever his name is. But
I think so.
we were kind of racist back in the '80s. We kind of didn't care about labels. There was one guy, Apache Chief, and he would walk around.
No, I very well
Apache Chief. And he would chop, and he would grow big.
I remember.
It was fucking hilarious. Dude, remember G.I. Joe, the original 80s cartoon?
Oh, no. I know where this is going.
Freedom, the eagle, and whatever the Native American Indian. He had his eagle, Freedom. His pet eagle, Freedom. That's fucking awesome.
Trail of Tears, never heard of it.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in Amazing Friends, I mean, you had callbacks to Daredevil. There's Dazzler, Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom. Oh my God. Dazzler, again, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but she'd be perfect for Dazzler. She sings. Dazzler sings. She's a superhero that sings. She's a pop star.
I'm good. I don't think I need that.
If they bring in Dazzler, you just got to be.
Can we not have a Dazzler? I don't want.
Talk about cheesy 70s, 80s stuff. But yeah, I think that'd be cool.
I'm just not thinking I need singing.
I don't know. I think Sadie
in a Marvel movie in the middle of someplace.
But I look at Sadie Sink and I think to myself, fucking Firestar right there.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Firestar.
Yeah.
What was the other pick I said? Oh, we said the
Jean Grey and then Felicia Hardy, which I don't think she's Felicia Hardy. I mean, she'd probably do a great job with Felicia Hardy, but I don't think that's the role.
I could see it.
She knows how to kind of play that badass role because from Stranger Things, she knows.
Right.
So I think she could play that role. I think she could play Firestar, and be alongside Spider-Man. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We could be totally off. She could just be, I don't know, love interest number 2 now. I don't know. Who knows what they're gonna have her do? It can't be MJ. The original Mary Jane Watson is a redhead. Can't be MJ because there's already an MJ with Zendaya. Zendaya. Is that it? That girl. So it can't replace one MJ with another.
How do you is that plot just kind of locked off the MJ Zendaya role? And
I think they're going to bring her back in Spider-Man 4. Maybe at the end she comes back. She kind of remembers and comes back. But I don't think she's done. I don't think her or Ned are done. I think they're going to be both back.
Right.
I don't think you can just write them off. I mean, if they do, they do. It's weird. Spider-Man is a tragic figure in most regards. I was prepping a video today for Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man issues number 50, 51, and 52. And issue 50 is that famous cover, the red cover of Spider-Man with his back to you. And then Peter Parker walking the other way where, you get the famous panel of him throwing the Spider-Man suit in the garbage can. That's that issue.
Right. Okay.
And he's got such a track where he can't keep a love interest, and he can't keep friends, and he can't keep family, and
they all just kind of drop that around him. It's real sad.
Well, not just that. But being Spider-Man just occupies his time. He just doesn't have the time for it. So he's kind of a tragic figure. So to give him another love interest, sure. I don't know again who she would play. You never know. Maybe she's the female Harry Osborn. I don't know. They would. You know what? There you go. There you go.
No.
There's your long shot. There's your dark horse. She's the female Harry Osborn.
No.
There's your new Green Goblin.
No, please don't do that.
I cracked the code. The Gringo has cracked the code.
Gringo, I really hope you didn't.
Woo! There you go.
I hope they just. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. Either way. Glad to see that she got something. That's cool.
Okay.
Oh, man. All right. You got time for one more?
Absolutely. We got time for one more.
All right. We're going to play this trailer. And here we go.
Osarumi, I have a good feeling about this year. We will be happy. We will be perfect.
I love this country!
This September will be your best.
No, you can keep it up. So to give you some context, yes, this is a cartoon by an Arab comedian that's going to be on Amazon Prime. I first watched it. This trailer's gotten a lot of shit. I got to be honest with you. I'm Arab. I was, 2001, just 19, 20, when 9/11 happened. Half the shit they're saying in this trailer is true because I still get pulled out of every freaking airport line. I still get searched. But it's funny, right? It's just people were afraid back then. I get it. I don't hold no grudge. It is what it is, you know. But that's what this premise is. But some of these things are hilarious. Some of the things are not going to be hilarious in this trailer. But I wanted to show a couple.
School year effort.
Okay,
it's not a good time to
Never
be at
happens to
the
me.
airport when you
He always
look
liked
like
me.
us.
Yeah, Remy Youssef.
Okay, class.
So that's basically him growing up, and they're going to learn about terrorism. Yay! Instead of math. Math sucks.
Math's for losers.
Oh, yeah, we're hairy. I get it. I mean, it's a little gross to see, but it's a little bit of a parody and a caricature, and sure, it's a stereotype.
Pretty accurate though. That was
Pretty fucking accurate.
I was in Egypt one
Pretty
time.
accurate.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
I got a sweater underneath this thing. It's okay.
There's a reason why he doesn't wear tank top.
I sweat in the wintertime. Anyways, so but yeah, it goes on. I don't want to get copyrighted, but they get the FBI moves in next door to them. They got their grandmother just always walking around like that. She doesn't really say anything.
Which is stereotypical.
Yeah, there's some weird things said. Like there's a line here. Hold on.
It's a time for us to be ourselves.
Being ourselves will get us.
Something about we just want to be ourselves. Well, wait a minute. Arab women aren't allowed to be themselves, so I guess that kind of preaching from it. It's weird. It kind of does, some of this stuff doesn't make sense. I'm like, because it's just Arab women aren't allowed to be themselves. They have to wear certain. They have to follow certain rules. They can't do certain things. It's just so it's kind of a. It's not really an authentic take on Arab women because their life is pretty harsh.
To an extent. Right.
So I get that. Oh yeah, and then here's this one where it's like the only people who are comfortable in public are white people. So you got to look white, and I guess that was where I was like, this sucks. You know, just you know, stick to it. But anyway, so you know how to be an Arab and live in the United States after 9/11.
Yeah.
So
I think it's got potential.
it's got potential.
I hope it doesn't go too much on the preaching side of like
Their firework display went all awry. They had to never forget 9/11 the year after, so they decided to do fireworks, and they accidentally lit it on fire, and the flag goes on fire.
ugh.
Yeah, that shit.
They're making it on a list.
They
Grandma,
run.
I thought you didn't know how
You
to
can't drive. What did you? I don't, because they're not allowed to drive. They're not allowed to drive. So I don't know. I think it's got potential. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm not going to kill it right away. I know it's beginning. I know there's been a lot of shit about this trailer. They've gotten a lot of shit, but I think it'll be. I think it's safe to say we can give it a chance.
Yeah.
We can give it a chance.
Give it a
I'll
shot.
definitely give it a chance. You know, because yeah, listen. Like it, want to face it, don't want to face it, don't like whatever. Yeah, man, people like me, we dealt with a little bit of shit after 9/11 because we're Arab. Everybody thought that we were all willing to blow something up. But we're not. We really aren't. So, but I get it. I understand why. I was watching the TV too. All right? I'm like, hey, a plane just hit the tower. Hey, what's with that second plane? Ah, shit. Oh shit! You know, it's funny because I had a friend who was very smart, and I saw him like a couple hours after the towers collapsed, and he looked at me. He goes, "This shit is going to end up in Iraq." And I looked at him. I go, "How do you figure that?" He goes, "This shit is going to end up in Iraq," and it fucking ended up in Iraq.
Where was that man? What did he do for work?
He was honestly, he was like me. He was just a
retail worker. Just knew better.
Department manager at Target, and he just knew better. He just had
the inside scoop.
So this shit's gonna.
You always get stopped in the airport, do you?
Oh yeah, dude. I get stuff. My luggage gets beeped.
Is it because of your last name mostly? Because I mean, looking at you.
Oh, they don't look. It's not by sight. If they see my name, if my name goes through a thing, it's an Arab name, so it automatically triggers a lot.
What's funny is I always get the Lebanese or Syrian TSA worker, and they see my last name, and they're like, "Oh, welcome, good blood. Who has it in your family?" I always say it's my dad's side. It's like, Very strong. Every time it's what they say. And they don't even ask me questions. I think only one time asked me questions like, "Oh, no, you coming back?" It's like, "Yes, oh, you're American, no problem." Bam! Go, brother. It's great. It's awesome. I've never been stopped at an airport. I have the greatest time through security.
They stop your mother all the time too.
Well, she always had her Mexican passport.
Well, no, it's just that they see a brown lady with my last name, and they're like, "But we gotta search." One day one day she was in a wheelchair because she had busted her foot. We were right.
Oh yeah.
And they made her walk through the metal. I'm like, she can't walk. She's in a fucking wheelchair. So then they're like, "Fine, we'll do a pat down." Pat down, right? They had TSA workers. They're like underneath. They're like, I'm like, "Excuse me. The only person who should be touching her there is me. I'm her husband. Okay, so let's back off there. I don't know what's going on." But yeah, they stop her all the time.
They never stop me.
Well, consider yourself lucky.
I always get. I've been to.
I get
so many
wanded.
airports. I've been in so many airports.
I get wanded. I get. You know what's funny too? Because sometimes I've had to sleep over in airports. Man, the looks I get from security walking by, and I'm just there trying to like. I've got my book bag, I got my backpack, and I'm just like there curled up on like a sofa or some bench. I'm just like trying to get a couple hours sleep. Man, I it's like they're just. I could just they come by again and again and again and again. I'm like, dude, I'm just sleeping. Oh, man. But anyways, so I'm gonna give this show a shot. If it's funny, awesome. If it's like too like anti this, anti that, I'll let you know. But yeah, 734 upvotes, probably a lot of downvotes.
Probably.
So
Yeah,
look at the comments.
What did it say?
This is a great example of why we all wept when we heard Amazon got the rights to James Bond. I agree to that, but okay.
I do.
I pay Amazon Prime for this shit. You can't convince me U.S. aid wasn't laundered into making this show. That's awesome. Who talked Amazon into making this? Hassan Pica? Oh, jeez. Comments still open. Very stunning and brave. Are you saving all the funny parts for the next trailer? I wonder how long Amazon can take this dunking before they close the comments. Who is this for? All 5 Muslims that loved Velma? Wow. Velma was terrible.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about Velma. As a Middle Eastern man born in America, I look forward to seeing the show get canceled.
Good for you.
$20 million in USAID money to fund this. What the fuck even is this? Waste money much? You canceled The Expanse for this? Come on, read the room. I lived in New Jersey during this time. No one was ever chasing Muslims down the street or expecting them to be something different. All these are mostly self-imposed because they didn't want to feel different. Fair enough. And Amazon wonders why everyone is upset they now control James Bond. Content slop indeed. Wow, this thing must have gotten ratioed.
Yeah.
You fucked up when we find the comments more entertaining than your show.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was on full recovery from cancer until I saw this. Now I have turbo cancer and AIDS. All right.
Listen, as I say, the internet remains undefeated. You can never beat it. You can maybe surprise it, but you'll never beat it. Never beat the internet.
Disney, holy shit. Rachel Zegler is going to make our live action Snow White film the most hated piece of entertainment in 2025. Amazon Prime Video, hold my beer. Written by people born in 2003 in Los Angeles.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
I've been, hey, 03, nothing wrong with that.
Poor Rami Youssef. He had to grow up in the terrible USA where he had made millions of dollars. If only his family had stayed in the Middle East, I'm sure their lives would have been much better and far more culturally enriched. We moved to America and now we have to behave like Americans. Oh no, who wears shoes in their own home?
I don't wear shoes in my own home. That's not even an American thing. No one wears shoes in their own home. I don't know where that comes from. Do people wear shoes in their own home in the U.S.?
Most people take their shoes off, but
I don't mind. I understand sometimes letting the guests keep their shoes on if it's like hardwood floor.
Yeah.
But that's the only time. That's it.
These are funny. Meanwhile, in Germany, Britain, France, Ireland, and Sweden, not funny. Okay. Remember when the Notre Dame was burning and who were the hundreds of thousands celebrating? I remember. True.
This is starting to get dark, though.
This is getting dark.
Oh, my. And I'm Catholic.
Let's do a
listen. I'm a Catholic, and I think the Notre Dame comment was a little far. All right, Notre Dame.
DEI. If DEI were an animated show, this show's gonna bomb hard. Will it be a blast or is it going to bomb? Happy Family USA will blow your mind. It will leave you in stitches. Oh Jesus! Can't wait for the spinoff series, A Christian Family Living in the Middle East. Well, they have those.
Those don't exist. No, they do exist.
I just canceled my Prime account after seeing this. Why the Democrats lost the animated series? All right, like I said, I'm still gonna give this thing a shot.
It's getting killed.
It's getting killed. I'm still gonna give it a shot.
There are Christians in the Middle East. You got the Syriac Orthodox, right?
Yeah, we have Orthodox, a lot of Orthodox in Lebanon and Syria and all that.
And Catholics in
Did
Lebanon.
USA fund us? This is going to be terrorific. Oh, Jesus. Dear Amazon, it's not satire if you totally rewrite history. It's just stupid. USA Prime. This looks worse than Jeremy's eyebrows. Jesus. I don't know who Jeremy is.
Not a clue.
I miss pre-2016. Yeah, you and me both. This show is going to blow in more ways than one. Yeah, funny comments. Anyways, like I said, we'll give it a shot. Happy Family USA. All right, with that, man, we've been going for a while.
We've been on for a minute. That Notre Dame one. That Notre Dame. Listen, we're Catholic. Even I think that's a little... That comment was... I can't even forget that comment. That comment went far.
A little dark. All right.
A little dark. No.
With that, I'm starving. I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat.
Yep. I think so as well.
It's been a late night. But from south of the border, thank you for joining me so late. I appreciate
No
it.
problem.
Salud, I wave. I'm still your reluctant gringo. We out of here.